What's cracking, y'all? You are now watching Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today. Over the last few days, I have been hearing a lot of chatter on mainstream media and social media about the face of the NBA this, the face of the NBA that. And my head is starting to explode, really, because looking at these folks, it logically makes no sense to me, the things that they are saying. Maybe I would be a bit less agitated if the conversation was more along the lines of, hey, who do you think would or should be the next face of the NBA? And to be fair, there are some mediums that are having that specific conversation, and that's okay. But the other conversations that's going around, ironically and probably not coincidentally after the Nuggets series finish, is A, Anthony Edwards is already the face of the NBA, which is balls to the wall ludicrous. And they're also saying, of the 4 teams left, each with 4 young stars, whoever wins the NBA Finals will be the face of the league. That would be Luka Doncic of the Mavs, and Edwards of the T-Wolves, Jason Tatum of the Celtics, and get this, Tyrese Halliburton of the Indiana Pacers.
If Ant-Man pulls this off against the Denver Nuggets, move out of the way, Jason Tatum, move out of the way, Shade, whoever. Ant-Man is the face of this league. Ant-Man pull this off, LeBron, Steph, there's a new sheriff in town, man.
It's good to hear T-Mac's voice. That was Tracy McGrady on his podcast right there. Okay, Stephen A. This is now, I feel like we can ask this question. Is Anthony Edwards the face of the NBA right now?
To me, he is.
Yeah.
To me, he is. And I'm going to tell you why.
Do you feel like Anthony Edwards is the new face of the NBA?
Absolutely. We could break this down from tier to tier. First off, to Stephen A's point, not only does he embrace the attention, he embraces the attention as a hooper.
Right now, is there a new sheriff in town and his name is Anthony Edwards?
Yeah, and that's okay to say. I think he's on his way. I think he's on his way to becoming that player. And it's...
Well, is he on his way, or is there a new sheriff in town? Those are 2 different things.
You got to win the chip.
Got to win the championship.
You got to go win the chip. I mean, I think that's the standard that everybody lives by. And I want to see them finish the job. Like,
an interesting time because we're going to end up with a champion, with a young star that's going to break through. No matter how you slice it. It's either going to be Luka Doncic, it's going to be Anthony Edwards, it's going to be Jason Tatum, it's going to be Tyrese Halliburton. But some of these guys are newer to this conversation. Halliburton and Anthony Edwards particularly. Tatum and Luka have been around a little bit longer. But it's like you almost expect it's a matter of time, right, before they get one. Well, one of these guys is getting one this year, and that's going to immediately escalate the conversation with Anthony Edwards. He's already arrived to a certain extent in this regard. And we talk about face of the NBA. I'm not exactly sure how we define that. I always think that's a vague thing. But one of the things you have to have, it's more than just your game. It's your personality, you know, the way he carries himself, his demeanor, his smile, his direct answers that he gives. That is part of the package when you talk about face of the NBA.
That right there alone sounds crazy as hell to me. If you're telling me the premise and foundation of your argument for the face of the NBA is whoever wins this arbitrary NBA Finals, you've already lost, my friend. It holds no weight. Let me start with this. Last time I checked, LeBron James is still in the league. And LeBron James has been the face of the NBA for at least the last 8 to 10 years now. You cannot dispute that. Some Steph Curry fans will try to say Steph over LeBron, or they both are the face of the NBA. Whatever. It's LeBron James. LeBron James is the elder statesman. LeBron James is the most decorated. LeBron James is still a top 10 player in the NBA, if not that, still an elite player. LeBron James is by far the most popular player in the NBA. LeBron James has more connections than anyone in the league. LeBron James has the commissioner's number on speed dial. LeBron James is the most polarizing sports figure even beyond the NBA. LeBron James can finish with the worst record in the league, and his name is still getting brought up every day on television as if he was the number 1 seed and in his prime. LeBron James moves the headlines. LeBron James, with one cryptic tweet, can pull the attention away from the NBA Finals. LeBron James is a top 10 player of all time. When something happens, people expect LeBron James to speak on it. Whether he's the best or the worst person to speak on something or the subject matter, the world expects a response from LeBron James. I'm not saying I do, but people do. And for some people, LeBron James is the GOAT, the greatest of all time. I don't think so, but many people believe that. Need I go on? Because I got more. LeBron James is the face of the NBA, whether it's a pretty face or an ugly face, whether you like it or you don't. Those are just the facts. No matter who wins this damn championship this year, no matter who is the best player in the league, LeBron James will remain the face until he retires. And this is just how it's going to be. Nobody's going to wrestle that title away from LeBron James. When he retires, he will hand the torch off to the next face. Trust me, this is coming from a guy that can't wait to have the torch handed off officially. And LeBron James makes his amazing speech of how he leaves the league in great hands right now. I think LeBron is a self-absorbed, egotistical megalomaniac, but I always keep it 100 about him. He is the face until he retires. Now I can end this video right here because really it's just as simple as that. But I'm going to go on and dissect some of this logic further. So why is this finals champion going to be the face of the NBA? Why not last season or any of the other seasons before it? This is so arbitrary. What makes this season so special? What narrative are people trying to drive? Oh, I know. Because everyone has fell in love with Ant Edwards. His game, his charm, his charisma, all that. And I get it. Trust me, I do. He's fantastic. He shows promise for a future face of the NBA. No question about it. He is cut a bit from the old cloth of the golden NBA days. I absolutely love it, folks. Everyone fell in love with this kid. And now he's in a position to possibly win a championship if he makes it out of this Dallas series. And he's an American player. Not only that, but of the 4 primary leaders of each of the 4 teams left, there are 3 American players. And the only foreign player is Luka Doncic. See what I'm getting at here? I think some people are pushing this narrative so hard because they see it as an opportunity. Y'all aware of all the hate going around towards foreign players in the NBA right now. Really out of jealousy, to be honest, at least what it seems like to me. So considering the 4 primary players we have left on the 4 remaining teams, people that think this way are looking at it as if they got a 75% chance to have an American ball player bring home the championship and MVP. They want that American player to be that guy so bad that I have even heard people throw Tyrese Halliburton's name out there, saying that if he even won a championship, he would be the face of the NBA, which is nuts to me, ludicrous, while also taking that 25% Luka Doncic gamble in the process. It's crazy. It makes no sense to me. And I really wish I could find that clip I was watching on, it might have been Speak, where they were basically talking about that, because I was just like, what the hell are these guys smoking? Again, I ask you, why did everybody pick this arbitrary year to have this conversation? Why not last year's champion be the face of the NBA? Oh, because it's Nikola Jokic. Well, what's wrong with Joker? Well, they're going to say he doesn't speak for the NBA. He's not outgoing. He's not charming in the way Ant Edwards is. We can't see him being a spokesperson. All right, whatever. Okay, whatever. I get it, I suppose. Well, to be honest, neither is Jason Tatum. Nobody is storming to the press conferences to hear what Jason Tatum has to say about anything. He doesn't have that Ant Edwards charm. Tatum nor Joker have the charisma that Ant Edwards has and can be that voice that they're looking for. The only difference is Tatum checks the American player box, whereas Joker doesn't. And not to get off topic here, but I just want to point out from an accomplishment perspective, even Tatum has done far more winning than the guy that they are pushing very heavily right now in Ant Edwards. Tatum with a fairly impressive resume of lengthy, deep playoff runs, despite not winning a championship at this point in his career. Just wanted to make that point. And going back to Nikola Jokic and why they didn't want to have this conversation last year. And while the character traits may have something to do with the reasoning, let's just be honest here. The big reason is because he's a foreign player. Joker is a foreign player with an almost Tim Duncan-like personality in some ways. See, some people may be a little bit more open to Luka as a foreigner being the face because of Luka's personality, but either way, collectively, being a foreigner and lacking the charisma people are looking for will have many people turn the other direction towards the notion of such a player being the face of the National Basketball Association. Now, if we're going to be honest here, Nikola Jokic has been the most decorated NBA player inside the window of the last couple of years. When you consider his title, Finals MVP, 3 MVPs, and he has held the title as best player in the NBA for at least 1 or 2 years, and being in a discussion longer, among other things. But people are not ready, or will ever be ready, to anoint him as the face of the NBA. But people were not ready to anoint him the face of the NBA then, based on their logic now. But you see, we live in a world where everything and everybody is hypersensitive. There's an emphasis on social justice, equality, fairness. And the same people emphasizing these things, you can't say this, you can't say that, that's racist, that's homophobic, that's gender bias. And people are openly making sad comments about how annoyed they are that foreign players are taking over the NBA. And these guys can't be the face of the league because of their origins. But these networks that supposedly look to make a stand on such topics are not giving these people any pushback for those comments. And some of the networks themselves are pushing that narrative, if we're going to be 100% honest about this right now. They're absolutely pushing that narrative. What happened to all that equality? I thought the NBA was a global league now. Where's all the acceptance? But see, y'all don't want to have that conversation. They don't want to have that conversation. Where are all those people with all that BDE in the name of social justice? The SJWs, quick to bury the hatchet and tarnish somebody's career. All those damn Twitter fingers clicking and clacking. Retweeted. Look what he said. Look what he did. Blah, 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 blah. Help me out here. I'm just trying to understand this logic. For the people saying that in this year's champion, we will find the new face of the NBA, since when did the criteria for such a label solely be dependent on who wins the championship? If that's the case, then LeBron James has only been the face for 4 years of his career. Based on that logic, if Ant wins it all this year, okay, he's going to be the new face of the NBA, right? That's what they're saying. But let's just say Shea goes on ahead and wins it all the following year. Is the narrative now going to shift to Shea being the new face of the NBA after Ant Edwards just had it for 1 year? That's wild. That's wild to me. I'm just asking y'all to make it make sense. Help me out here. Talking about future faces of the league, okay, that's a different story. But the recency bias and emotional outburst of trying to crown someone that right now is getting extremely absurd. There is currently a solidified face of the NBA, and y'all know who it is, who it has been, and who it will be until he's gone and retired. That's my reasoning. But again, I ask you, why is it this year this is such a hot topic of conversation? I appreciate you guys for stepping in. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. I'm just chopping it up with y'all. I appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and I'll catch you on the next one. We out, baby.